Growing up, my mother regularly commiserated me for being born a girl. Not that she wanted another son, I already had two older brothers, but she was convinced that my life would have been so much easier if I was just born a boy. For the longest, I didn't see that. I thought my challenge was only being the youngest. But I also thought if I just try hard enough, I'm going to be able to keep up with the older boys, and maybe I'm even going to be able to be the best of them. So clearly, growing up, there's been a few bumps in the road. As I was wearing the hand-me-down clothes from my brothers, I had scratches and bruises, and I did fail regularly to keep up with the older boys. But again, I thought I just have to try hard enough, and then I'm going to be one of them. The first fall came around the birthday of my best friend back then. You will guess it, it was a boy. Per his mother's orders, he wasn't allowed to invite me to his birthday party. Why? Well, the activities planned for that day were a scavenger hunt through a nearby forest, and then building a fort from logs and dirt. And his mother thought, this is no place for a little girl. Now, I was angry. I was furious. I had no interest in playing tea party or playing with dolls or something like that. I wanted to be with the boys and go on their adventures. And there was always some episode of trouble that they would get in, and that was so exciting. And I wanted to be part of that, and now I was allowed to come. I was really angry. So fast forward 20-some years, I'm now working at a technology company, typically the only woman, and typically the youngest. But again, that didn't bother me. I was convinced I only have to work hard enough, and then I'm going to be accepted as one of the boys, and maybe I can even become one of the best of them, right? So there was this project. It already started out really challenging. In the kickoff, one of the male colleagues mentioned in front of everyone, "Girl, you don't understand this business. You haven't been in the industry some 30-some years. I mean, were you even born back then?" Here we go again. Unfortunately, the project went on, and the attitude of the colleagues didn't change. No matter how hard I tried to prove to them that I was one of them, I would never become one of their buddies. But again, that didn't discourage me. I thought I just have to work hard enough, and then I'm ultimately going to prove to them that I'm worthy and I'm going to be one of them. So I worked day and night through all the barriers and challenges, and did achieve some really good results at the end of the project. Next thing that happens is that my boss claimed all of my accomplishments for himself. Now that really irritated me. In the same time frame, there was this male peer in the team that everyone admired. He was so confident and he had so much drive. He would regularly stand up for himself and for his belief, and everyone just thought he was the next leader. So I watched him and thought, I'm going to do it like him. I'm going to stand my man, and I'm going to fight for my recognition. Now, that didn't go so well. I was patted on the back, and then when it came round to the next round of promotions, I was passed over. And I was told, "Mirka, why are you so pushy? You're doing so well on the Gender Age Index." Gender Age Index? I'd never heard of that before. What was that? I mean, why was I being compared to women? And as far as I was concerned, there was no other woman in the department, so who was I being compared to? And then hold on, what was that word, pushy? Why was the same behavior that this male colleague demonstrated admired as being driven and confident and self-asserted, and now I was doing the exact same thing, and it was criticized as being pushy or aggressive or impatient? That was really frustrating. I was working really hard. I was delivering great results, and I was trying to do the same behavior as my male colleagues and then criticized for it. Were we playing by the same rules? The hardest failure, though, in this time frame came from my personal life. My husband and I decided early on in our marriage that we would swap roles. He's a loving mother, and I try to be a decent father. And it works great. In fact, we're convinced sometimes dads are just the better moms. And I thought, you know what? All my friends and family, they're going to be so happy for me that I get to live my purpose and my passion and my talent. But that wasn't the case. In fact, especially in the early years of our marriage, there was a lot of criticism, a lot of doubt, a lot of questions, concerns. One of the typical questions was about the well-being of my children. Aren't they suffering from your career? Or the well-being of my husband. In fact, I do believe that there was some bets out there going when he would finally leave me. He didn't. But this was tough. It's one thing to not fit in perfectly at work. It's a whole different story if you feel that you're not living up to the expectations of the people that you love. I wanted to live my purpose and passion. I was really ambitious with my career. I had a husband that supported me in a fabulous way, but all this was happening without the blessing of people that we greatly respected and loved. How could I live my life without upsetting them? Or could I live my life with not upsetting them, but upsetting myself? The hardest punch, though, in this time frame came from my roommate and best friend from back then. You have to know she was also a working mother. One day she asked me, Mirka, doesn't it bother you that you're the only one earning family income? Now, would you ever ask a man that question?